Welcome to TradingPub.com's morning report. Real quick before we get started, give you a standard risk disclaimer. As you know, when you start talking about futures and options products, there is substantial risk involved. We're not making any kind of recommendations here, just kind of going over some thoughts over some of the different markets that we watch throughout the week. All right, here's a look at the S&P so far today. It's about 10:45 Central Time, 11:45 Eastern. You've got the S&P's trading at 56.75. Interestingly, here's a daily chart. We've talked about how 45 was a big number yesterday. What we're looking for here to the upside, we'll look at kind of that 1462 as an area of resistance. But really, if we start to get into the 60s, I'd expect to at least see a test of the 68, 69 level. More than likely, if we start to get closer to that, we'll see that level taken out. If you think about it, anybody that's short right now would have a stop either above 1466, but more than likely above 1468, the previous high. And so what we'll probably see as we get closer to that level, if we can get up into the 1460s, and we'll see that high area start to become a magnet and pull the price towards that. So we'll want to keep that price in mind for anybody that's long. That'll probably be a pretty good target level to look at as far as a intermediate term target over the next couple days. If we can see the S&P get back above 1460 and hold and sort of inch up closer towards that, so you want to keep that in mind. I know a lot of times people tend to think, okay, we've got a high at 68. If we're trading at 66, we'll get short and put a tight stop on it. And most of the time what you see in that situation, you see it go up, take out the high by a point or two, and then start to consolidate some. So again, unless there's any major news, we'll kind of expect that scenario to play out the closer that we get to 1468. Apple really is pretty interesting. If you take a look at Apple, here's a daily chart, and really thought Apple, it held the 620 area that we had talked about earlier this week, and the way that it traded the past couple days, really thought that we'd see some continuation here and trade back towards the 670 level. A bit surprised about the gap, especially with the market holding in. We had the gap down, and it's trading around the 639, 640. So really not sure what to think about Apple. Looks like it's in more of that consolidation type phase. Yesterday we also talked about the Australian dollar, basically being, if the market continues to go up, that the Australian dollar would perform well. And you see that the Australian dollar is continuing to go a bit higher. Basically, it broke out of this consolidation range. We're looking at the 104 area as the first big area of resistance. So again, 104 area is an area of resistance. One thing that you can do kind of using cross markets, because the Australian dollar will tend to move with the market, if you see the S&P break below that 1430 area, then kind of consider that sort of as an all bets off on the long Australian dollar. But again, can kind of use multiple market approach in determining what the overall markets are doing, and use that 1430 area kind of as a clue on a intermediate or swing basis. We have a exciting event planned tomorrow for those of you that trade options. We've got Larry Gaines. It's going to be educating everyone on breakouts and price cycles. And we're actually doing this event. Most of our events are after the market close. This event actually is on options expiration day. So Larry's going to do this at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. If you can join that, he's going to be talking about using weekly options and how he uses breakouts and price cycles in his trading. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to do an event there with the live market. And we hope that you guys can register. You can go to tradingpub.com/events to register for that. So again, it's tradingpub.com/events.